You are now tuned to BS3 Network. BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome to another episode of Queen3 King. I am your host, King Doc. Those are my co-hosts, the Queens. As you can see, Mika got a funny look on her face this week, so obviously she did not get some like she did last week. As you can generally tell when that's the case.
Jerk.
She went back to the, what do y'all call it, the headband wig? Is that what they call this thing?
Dang. Damn.
What that girl
I'm
say?
about to snort.
What that girl say when her wig come out? Nigga.
She said, God is a good God. He's faithful. Nigga.
That's the video I should have uploaded to play.
I forgot about that.
And she said, I hate this for me.
Yeah.
She said, you still gonna play this? He said,
yeah. Yeah. All right. So we got the Queen still messing around with her mic and camera settings for some reason. I don't know why. So we're just gonna skip her for the time being until she get it together. We'll start in what we call Southeast Forney with the Educator Queen by way of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And for those of you who are uncertain of whether this is really the case or not, yes, she is from the state of Tulsa. I mean, the city of Tulsa, state of Oklahoma.
you couldn't even get your lie right.
She is fresh off of an imbroglio with the city concerning some controversy behind a pageant contest, as they call it. And they think that she, because we couldn't talk about this before, but we can now. So apparently she had submitted a faulty birth certificate.
Grow up.
So anyway, that has all been cleared up now, and she has been restored as Miss Tulsa. So go ahead and Google that, and you can see all the photos and everything like that. All right. So since I started with your introduction, I kind of got interrupted with your backstory. But again, this is the Educator Queen, also known as Meba, TT. Talk to the people, Queen, and if you want to, now that you can comment about your, little situation with Tulsa, feel free to do so.
I'm not gonna comment about a lie, okay? But I am gonna say good evening.
Well, we know it was a lie. You didn't really submit a faulty birth certificate, but that was the accusation. And then they said something about you and one of the judges were seen.
Oh my!
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What we seen doing?
Fraternizing is the word that they use.
Oh my God.
That's not supposed to happen. So they say you slept your way to the top. All right. And since we're going out of order, we'll go to the baby queen, formerly known as Blake's mama. Now she is firmly entrenched into Bronx's mama, although with Uncle Don in the house. And the other side of his family there, he was like mother-in-law Kathy say, when them folks in town, he want to be with them and them only. So we got Mama Lee, talk to the people, Queen.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right, and last but not least, we got Diana Ross. Nicole in the building, the season queen.
He really gets
She also known as Darling Nikki. Boney Baroni, Skinny Minnie, Coco, the Glamour herself. What up, Queen?
Hello, everybody.
All right. So again, today we're talking about I'm gonna stick beside him. Unfortunately, as advertised, we were going to have comedian Mike James in the building. Unfortunately, there was a conflict, and that could not happen today. So hopefully, we'll get him rescheduled. But we still want you to support his dry bar comedy special called Southern Comfort. Again, Mike is a gentleman who is out of Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. Real cool dude. Well liked in that industry and whatnot. So support him. Let him know that Queen3 and King sent you to show him some love. You know, again, a lot of us know that we have hidden talents and whatnot, and all we need is a little support. So why don't y'all support him? And to our viewers, again, we appreciate y'all, and it is because of y'all that we have such good shows. So this is one of those topics that we are going to need you on. Who doorbell is that damn loud? Damn, turn that shit down.
You cannot turn the doorbell down.
Yeah, you can. What your DoorDash there?
I don't know what it is.
She probably scared because it's after dark. It's
dark. After dark. Ain't nobody coming over here. Let me check the ring.
Actually, she getting some after the show today.
You're supposed to leave the door open, girl. So let's get into this topic. And before I do that, I want to play a video that we should all be familiar with, and it is the video that sparked this particular. Oh, you know what? It is not there, so I got to upload it here. So, there it is. This is the video that sparked I'm gonna stick beside him.
This is your man.
Yes.
Look at the screen.
That's mine.
And that's what you're going to settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside.
I gotta listen one more time because I like her to say.
This is your man.
Yes.
Look at the screen.
That's mine.
And that's what you're going to settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside.
And I'm gonna stick beside him.
That's mine, and I'm gonna stick beside
him.
So we're gonna start with the baby queen here on this particular topic, and I'm gonna ask the question: why do women stick beside bad men?
Because some women are afraid to be alone.
That's the main reason.
They're willing to take whatever, go through whatever, and they gonna stick beside them.
Afraid to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mika.
Like the old folks say, a piece of man is better than no man.
What does pizza have to do with anything?
I don't care what he do for a living.
Is that how y'all met?
Oh, thank you, Lord. You see how I didn't say nothing?
So you said a piece of man is what?
Better than no man.
Okay.
So some women just be like, it just matters that he's here.
Even if it's in the midnight hour.
See?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Come on, midnight.
Nikki.
I totally agree with Alicia and with Mika, because those are usually the main thing that women will say whenever they're in a relationship, and that it's not with someone that they really should be in a relationship with. And sometimes women, they don't want to be, like I said, they don't want to be lonely. They just want to have somebody there. But I'd rather be lonely than have somebody that's no good.
Okay, so I'm surprised that neither one of y'all said anything about social media. They doing it for the gram.
No.
Yeah, that's a true statement too. But I think I don't know. The one that came to me first was just some women just don't like to be alone. You see those women that are never single. They go from person to person to person just to be with somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give themselves time to
never give themselves time to heal.
Recover. All right, so let's get to some of the comments. We got some just hellos, and then we got a couple of comments on why that's the case. CJ says, "What's going on, beautiful people?"
Hey,
CJ.
We need to know why do women stay with bad dudes? Let's see. Ain't Weeda's in the building? She goes, "Hey, my beautiful family, what's going on?" We got Cousin Jody in the building.
What up, Cousin?
I'm not gonna tell the audience what his nickname is.
Oh, no.
Doorbell ringing. I'm not gonna tell him what. Y'all didn't hear that though, did you?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
So we're not gonna tell him what Jody's nickname is, just because he may not like it. But Jody, we need an old school view on that too. Why do women stick with men that are obviously no good for them? Now, Patricia Singletary has an answer to this question already. And she says,
come on.
We're not gonna beat around the bush.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
She misspelled stupid. I mean, she misspelled they. It should be D-E-Y.
They stupid.
Because you stupid.
Right. Let's see. And we got, and we just says a lot of women are codependent. They just got to have a man.
Right.
That's the truth. Patricia also says you can be lonely with a man too.
Oh, speak the word.
That's real.
Okay, that's 100% true. A lot of folks are lonely in their relationships. And she goes, a lot of women are codependent. They can't go 3 weeks without a man. Jody said, "Thank you. That's for not saying his nickname." So I need to know. You got this wisdom, cousin. Why do women stay with these bad men? So a couple of other reasons are, again, we mentioned, afraid to be alone. A piece of man is better than no man. We mentioned social media, and we doing it for the gram. Because when we was first started out and everything was good, we was sending pictures and posting pictures, skinning and grinning. Now that we walking around, our lips stuck out. We ain't gonna tell nobody. So some of the reasons that I was given in research for this is convenience.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes that convenience can be financial convenience.
Right.
Right. Some is out of just routine and habit. See, some folks get in what they call a rut, and so it's just a routine and a habit. That's just, I'm with Michael. And
not Michael. Angela.
They used to be with Michael. Some is stability. Again, I mentioned the financial piece, and some people want to say stability, right? Okay, so what do we mean by stability? Okay, the financial piece is easy, but how many people are trying to say it's better for the kids?
A whole lot of them.
The kids need a father figure in their life. Even if that father figure playing more Call of Duty than the damn kid, they still want just a pair of britches in the house, like somebody else said. Familiarity, right? So people have become comfortable with the situation. They're familiar, and they want to stick with what's familiar because it's too uncomfortable to move away from that. And then also the things with the power to hurt us usually are the very things that we care the most about. So even though he may be mistreating you, he may be talking bad, he may be borrowing your car to go to work and being late to pick you up. And when he pick you up, it smell like weed. And you see the 47 cents casino ticket because that's all he had left.
Wow.
You finding rubbers all in the back behind the seat. But those that wasn't mine. Them wasn't my rubbers. Them was my homeboy. I gave him a ride, and he must have left him back there. But you still don't stick beside him. I'm gonna tell you a story that I was involved in with a coworker of mine, and she was gonna stick beside him, man. And ironically, the nigga name was Mike. Let's see. Weeda said, "I have heard women say that they are not complete without a man." That's true.
I've heard that too.
Let's see what Galen said. East Garland Zone. Galen said, "Bro, I can clear this up quick. Nothing is perfect. I have made my wife furious, vice versa, and that does not mean infidelity. Most relationships are mental, but we have stuck with each other for 31 years. People ask me what has made marriage work? And I say moving to Colorado in 95 because we have no one else but each other. Okay, wow. We had to make it work, but that concrete foundation has us here today. Okay. So what you trying to say? You wasn't no good? Or you had to get out of here?
He was saying they kept that family out their business.
Yeah, and that's but that don't make the man no better. You know, see, we see Galen, from what I know of you, you know, while you may not be a perfect man, I wouldn't necessarily consider you no bad man. You're not this dude in this video that somebody need to stick beside, right? Let's see. Jody said these women have hopes of changing him. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But addicted to what triggers the emotions. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing I've discovered as well, is that some women, and men for that matter too, but some people are just addicted to toxicity. They're addicted to that.
Yes.
If it ain't no drama going on, I mean, I've literally heard somebody say that if you're not yelling at me, if you're not getting upset by this, then I don't think you care.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, no, I just don't want to raise my voice. The only time I'm gonna raise my voice when I'm coming off the top rope on it and it get good to me. I'm gonna raise my voice then.
Oh my God.
But I ain't gonna raise my voice.
Oh my God.
That's ninja.
In anger.
He's on my nerves.
Yeah, but you even mentioned something about social media. So I'm sure y'all see the name Blueface and Krishan Rock. Like they are in Shade Room almost daily, weekly, because of their toxic relationship. And she keeps going back to him, but she'll plainly say, like, oh yeah, he hit me. He knocked me out before, but she right back in the bed with him. I'm like, and it's like they get off on that with each other.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Let's see, Galen said, oh, I just popped in, and so I didn't know what y'all was talking about. So he done put the longest paragraph in there, but said,
look, and I thought
he was on point.
Wow. We just said some of these kids are better off without some of the dads, because some do more harm mentally to the kids, especially the arrogant assholes that treat their mother like crap. That's right. And what you got to be careful of in that situation is you are setting the standard for your young boys and your young girls as to how to treat someone and how to be treated. You know, so if you sit there and take that, you are normalizing that behavior and you are desensitizing them to it. You know, it's the reason why, you know, again, we recommend premarital counseling, because guess what? You may find out that this joker grew up in a household where mom and dad was talking shit to each other all day, every day, and it wasn't nothing. They didn't move the needle for them. But you were in a different kind of household where nobody ever raised their voice. Mom and dad decided to keep the fights in the bedroom and then let the kids hear about it, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to be able to figure that stuff out, because that's two different backgrounds and you may see it differently. So he come out of there and he talking loud to you, or vice versa, she talking loud to you. Matter of fact, Damien and Jamie have said the same thing on their show, Marriage is Real, which will be up next after Queen3 and King at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Jamie said Jamie is from the hood. And she said, so around their house, they talk loud. You know, there was a bunch of women in there. They was talking loud and crunking. They didn't mean nothing by it. You know, and it took a minute. Damien kept saying, hey, why are you talking to me like that? She like what? You know, so it was just what it was. So you got to kind of understand what folks' background are, so it'll determine how they're going to behave in a relationship. And not saying that if they don't have the exact same background as you, that it ain't going to work, but you got to get an understanding so you can know how to work through those differences.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jody Mack says roughnecks will always have a woman. They have personality and confidence. It draws. Yeah, most definitely. In fact, I've heard a lot of women say that it is the confidence for them. You know, if you go in confident, you know, then shoot, you win it. You know. Let's see. CJ says, facts, dog. I had a girl tell me I was too boring because I didn't want to play fight with her long neck ass. She She's one of the girls that like drama, and as I started,
oh my God,
a lot of women say they don't like it, but they crave it for some weird reason. And again, sometimes drama is all they've known, especially in younger relationships and younger people, right? Because they're not mature, they're not mature enough to handle conflict, and so they handle it in a certain way that they've gotten used to. So it's just all they know sometimes. We just said I've heard men call their woman a bitch right in front of their kids. I know. See, that happened when I was young. I called somebody a bitch in front of their kids, and she said, "Don't call me a bitch in front of the kids." I said, "All right, ho."
Boy.
The gentleman
I'm sick of it.
The gentleman who put the BS in BS3, what's going on? And he know not to talk to Erica no kind of way, because we was on the show one day and he looked over at Erica a certain way, and I stopped the show and said, "Look at her like that again." So Ben know better. Let's see. Kayla said, "I just tuned in. What is the subject?" We'll go ahead and reset. The subject is, "I'm a stick beside him." And we trying to figure out why women gonna stick beside them. All right, when they know they crazy. Wow, we just said a smooth talking dog can con the panties off a number. Oh, wow. That ain't a picture. So we're gonna start with Nikki on this one. Some say one reason people stay in hurtful relationships is their belief in unconditional love.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Unconditional love has some merit in relationships, right? Not just romantic relationships, but in friendly relationships, platonic relationships, familiar relationships, fine. So some say they state their reason is I believe in unconditional love. Mm-hmm. But when is enough enough? We'll start with you, Nikki.
I think that enough is enough whenever that man or that woman continues to do the same things over and over again. I think that's enough, because I don't think that a woman or a man should stay in a relationship if it's toxic.
Okay, well,
and
go ahead. No, finish.
No, because I think that's just gonna mess with them even more so in their mental health. Boy,
go. This is not. She is talking. This is not a commercial.
Give me this check, Corey. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying it because it will mess with their mental health, and it will mess with their kids. If there's kids in the home, that can mess with their mental health as well.
Right.
So that can cause a lot of issues. So I think that I wouldn't wait too long to have anybody mistreat me or my family or vice versa.
Okay, so the question is, for those of you who just tuned in, like Galen, we said, some say the reason they stay in hurtful relationships is because they believe in unconditional love. When is enough enough? So Nikki said, when you're doing it over and over again, well, I'm going to hit the Christian button on you. You're supposed to be saved. And the Bible say, how often do I forgive my brother? Do I forgive him 7 times? And the Lord said, no, 7 times, 70 times. So tell me.
Well, even though you can forgive them, but that don't mean you got to stay with them.
That's what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. Right on.
Love them from a distance.
Right.
Mika. Some say one reason people stay in hurtful relationships is their belief in unconditional love. When is enough enough?
It's simple for me when the behavior becomes repeated and it's not corrected. So if you say, hey, I want to stop cheating, and you continue to cheat. Or if you say, I won't talk to you like that again, but the next day you still call me out my name. If the behavior is becoming more aggressive or more regular, I'm done with it. And like you said, we can be Christians, but Christian doesn't mean reconnection. When I'm done, I'm done. That mean I can forgive you from a distance and not have to be connected to you.
Okay, so when is enough enough? How many times he got to repeat this behavior?
To the Lord say the same.
He done picked you up late from work 4 times this week. Is that
enough? We ain't got to worry because he's not taking my car about him picking me up. Ain't nobody taking my car. You better get an Uber, sir.
That's gonna cost. He ain't got no job. He not taking your car because he going to work. He taking your car so he can have somewhere to get around in.
He better get an Uber.
Well, what's this you doing? You ain't got no car. You ain't got no
car. Worry about what I got going on.
He better catch a dart bus. He better hit that dart bus up.
Yeah.
Lily.
Some job applications up.
Some say one reason people stay in hurtful relationships is their belief in unconditional love. When is enough enough? Shit.
That's shit.
I think enough is enough when it starts to kind of change who you are. I think it's one of those things where at any point, if you have me start to step out of my character, I have to cut ties with that because I don't want to be that person. And then I don't want that to start in turn to affect my children, right? So I think a lot of people mistake, these two-parent households, that's what it is. But two-parent households at what expense? Because some of y'all are raising kids that are just going to carry their childhood trauma into adulthood. And then now we're unpacking that in relationships. So I think we have to be very careful with that.
Come through, unpack. All right, a couple of comments. Cousin Jody said, I saw a blog that a nuclear engineer, a brother, was dropped by his girlfriend because he was too boring.
Wow.
And so he basically said this dude's smart enough, got a job like as a nuclear engineer, but she quit him because he was too boring.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She wanted him to choke her a little bit.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. From the front or the back.
If your voice like that, neither.
For real.
We got Theodora Harper, the Blue Streak Freak. See, that was right on time, too.
What up, Theodora?
We got Theodora, the Blue Streak Freak, in the building. She goes, hey, y'all, what's up, Theodora? And Cousin Jody said, that's the Popeye syndrome. That's all I can stand, and I can't stand no more.
See?
Let's see. Patricia Singletary says, family violence cases are filling the courts every day. And when the children grow up in the drama and are the ones dying, and when the fool hit me or disrespect me, forgiveness comes from me at my house, and he is at his. Real talk. I agree, Lily. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
All right, we got Kirby in the building. What's up, my man? Good to see you.
Hi, Kirby.
So talk to me, man. Kirby, tell me why women stay with these deadbeat dudes. Why they gonna stick beside them, man? I need to know. And we gotta, we've talked a little bit about physical violence here, and it's not just that, Sometimes it's just the fact that the joker ain't doing nothing. He ain't contributing. Right. Yeah, there could be some mental abuse or some physical abuse, but sometimes it's just, he's not adding to you. I think me and Craig the other day, we talked about people that were adding to their lives that made them legitimately want to be a better dude. And if a chick ain't making you want to be better, that you're just, because you're with her, you're motivated to be your best version of you, then that's probably a problem. So if this dude ain't contributing to the household, he always got money for his Black and Miles and his his little flour, his Kush, and whatnot.
Mad Dog 2020.
Wow, she went back.
Well, a lot of people did drink it.
She went back to when Jody used to drink.
That's a good one, too.
She went back to when Jody used to drink. Man, so how, when is enough? So, and I guess the bottom line is that's going to be different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Excuse me. I was just reading it instead of putting it up. Galen says, the fear of me going to Dreams clubs in a lime suit. Wow.
Oh, my God.
Wow. That's why she stayed. All right, we got Tara, OSU's own. Tara Letterman in the building. She goes, too much when he is not even trying. Right on. I got Brandy, daughter in the house. She goes, hey Brandy, what's going on? When is enough enough? Tara Letterman said, or when he gets physically, verbally abusive. I think that's been stated. Anguita says, I've been in 4 serious relationships in my lifetime, 2 kids by one and 1 by another. Married twice, but wasn't in love with the first 3. Didn't know what love was. Can't explain this day why I was with him, especially that second one. I hated him so much. God, the only one I truly loved was the 4th one, Kevin, that passed away. Haven't been in love again, or rather, I will ever be again. And for those first 3 I was with, I had to learn how to forgive myself for time wasted, and that is huge.
Oh,
yep, it is.
Sometimes if you do not forgive yourself, it'll make it difficult in your next situation. You know, you kind of got to forgive yourself, and you got to wash your hands of that situation and understand it and process it, because if not, you're going to carry that baggage into the next one, and it's going to make life difficult on him for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Jody Mack says, wow, not the MD. No,
Not
brother.
the Mad Dog.
And Green Spring. Oh, not the Mad MD. She goes, no, bro, and Green Spring. I guess that's a drink that I don't know nothing about. And Green Spring.
I ain't never heard that.
Yeah, really went back. All right, we're gonna pause just a moment for these words from one of the shows on BS3 Network.
This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central.
All right. So ironically, you know, the next question I have really did come with, we just talked about bringing baggage into your next relationship. And so my next question is, no matter how hard you try to fight it, Lily, no, we're going to start with Mika on this one. No matter how hard you try to fight it, the ghost of people you used to love will follow you wherever you go. True or false? No matter how hard you fight it, try to fight it, the ghost of people you used to love will follow you wherever you go. True or false?
True.
Why? We just said you need to let it go. You need to forgive. You need to move on. You need to forgive yourself. Why are these ghosts going to follow you then?
Whether it was good or bad, it's going to always follow you, because I think they're, you know, if you've been in a bad love or a good love, they're all teachers, right? So I think it's always going to follow you to the relationship in order to show you what to do next, how to handle this. What should I do in this situation? Should I leave earlier? Should I stay? Is this forgivable? Is this not forgivable? So I think it follows you, but it depends on the way you allow it to follow you.
Exactly.
So do you use it for good or do you use it for bad?
So then you're distinguishing. It'll follow you, but it does not have to cause you to mess up. You know, it can follow you, but it doesn't have to fail you.
Yes.
All right.
I agree.
Lily, anything else to add? No matter how hard you try to fight it,
I agree with that. It's always going to be a teacher. Like that, I always say it's a teachable moment, right? Even though it didn't feel good going through it, what did I take from that? I always try to find what can I take from that experience. So I think it's always going to follow you, but it doesn't have to be a negative. What did I learn from that?
Yeah,
I got grown from that.
I know what my ex took from it. She took my laptop. She took a bottle of Crown Royal. She took iPad. She took one of my suitcases.
She probably put all that stuff in that suitcase you just named.
Shit, I know what she took from it. Let's see. Okay, Craig clarifies, and we're going to get with you, Nikki, in a minute on that question. Before we get to Craig, Kirby says, fear of the unknown keeps some people willing to stay and suffer. You're 100% correct.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that fear is big, man.
Yeah.
You should have put fear in all caps right there, because fear is a motivator. And sometimes it's not good motivation.
Right.
Craig clears up the Green Spring, so he goes Thunderbird. Green Spring. So maybe I don't know if that's a flavor of Thunderbird. I don't know. I'm still not.
Yeah, I know Thunderbird, but I don't know about this.
But Craig went to Lakeview, so he ain't gonna be able to put too much up. You know, he ain't gonna.
Man, y'all wrong.
That is horrible.
He wasn't that smart in school. Kurt. Oh, I hope he got my sun massages though, because he went to go get some today.
And you better stop talking noise.
Kirby says not wanting to take a season alone and start over. Hey, that's starting over. Hey, homeboy, that's starting over, man. That's big. You know, and some folks don't want, you know, like we even said earlier, forgiving myself for quote unquote wasting time. Well, if you're thinking in a healthy way about it, you understand that it wasn't wasted time. It cost you some time, but so did you waste time or did you invest time?
Yeah.
And if you invested it, there still may be some return, even though it didn't end the way you wanted it to end.
Yeah.
Nikki, before we go to more comments, I'm gonna pose that question to you. No matter how hard you try to fight, the ghost of the people you used to love will follow you wherever you go. True or false?
I think it is true, absolutely true, because I know firsthand. And what Mika and Alicia was saying about how it will follow you. It'll teach you what to do and what not to do in the next relationship. But sometimes when we are younger, we don't understand that factor. But as we get older and go into other relationships with other people, that's when you start that's the real teachable moment right at that time.
Okay, cool. We're going to get a couple of comments and then we're going to go to Lily's segment and figure out what the streets is talking about. Before we do that, Galen says, fam, that's my bad. I just walked in and just didn't understand what the topic was. If you don't quit talking about this what the topic is, the reason why these women stay is familiar to their family. Familiarity is what we talked about earlier. Like if you saw that's what your mother and aunt did and you have nowhere to go, you have no reason to try.
Right.
Yeah.
That's big. Now, Wita disagrees. She goes that the ghost following us is false. You can let it go. And again, hey, she done been there, so you got to give us some credence on that. Kirby say it's a testing ghost.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's strong.
That's good.
And Patricia says she agree. I don't know what she agree with. I don't know if she agree with the.
I think that was when Mika was talking. I think that's when Mika was talking.
And good job, Facebook users. I don't have no Facebook users on here, so everybody done gave Facebook a StreamYard permission to use your name and stuff like that.
Good job.
Good job. Craig said, yes, sir, I got you.
He encouraged them.
All right. And we just said the one thing I will never do again is to be with a man I don't love. If I meet a guy and I don't feel any chemistry, I'm out. Will not stay around to see if I will feel something. I believe in love at first sight. I never met Leon Robinson, but I am so.
Oh, and she loves.
That's her mood.
You are not in love with him. You are.
Yes, she is.
You know,
baby, that's so
that man's breath might stink, and you have no idea you are in lust with him.
That is
and so wait a minute. She says, I will never be with a man I don't love. Well, you got to find out if you're in love with him. And again, I just talked to somebody today. Love is a choice. Love is an action word. So the chemistry may or may not be there. That's one thing. So I may not. So to say I won't be with a guy that I feel no chemistry with, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But to say I'm not going to be with somebody I don't love, well, how early was that? You can't determine. You basically saying that if I don't love this joker, within the first 3 weeks, I'm out. Nigga, I ain't in love with you. You can't do that. Cousin Jody said, you're a student of life. What did you learn? Fear to trust. Realizing what good love really is. Okay. And we to clarify, she goes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and Jody, some clarification, hopefully. Okay, Annie Spring was a wine. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. I'm interested now.
I missed Annie Green.
He had you a wine.
He had me a wine.
Yeah, we just says, Tig, I know I love you. She know that, huh? All right, now it is time for the Baby Queen segment.
The streets are talking.
All right.
Oh, what is she doing? What's wrong with you?
You done disappeared too. Where your camera go?
Have you been drinking?
No, not yet.
Nigga, did your phone fall or something? It's all black on your end.
I can see all y'all.
You black?
You black.
I'm black.
Yeah, we can't see all of you. It's just a black screen. There's no picture at all. Now it's like you just turned the camera on.
Hit your camera again.
I haven't touched anything.
But hit it.
But touch the camera.
I did turn it.
I don't know.
I'm gonna mute it. Don't say nothing. All right, Lily, which one do you want me to put up first?
Let's talk about Shanquella Robertson first.
Yeah, we may want to go there because the other one, we may not get to the other one.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay, so you want me to start with the picture, or do you want me to start with the video that
Let's
I uploaded?
just start with the picture.
Okay. Tonight, it's become a mystery in Mexico as a Charlotte fan.
Did exactly what I didn't want to do. So bear with me. Okay, that's the picture.
All right, this is, I don't know if you guys have been seeing this, but this has been heavy on Facebook. Shanquella Robinson. She is a 25-year-old who is from Charlotte, North Carolina, that died in Cabo when she was on vacation with about 5 or 6 of her friends. They went on vacation. Her mom talked to her Friday of that weekend, and she was like, "Hey, Mom, I'm good. You know, I'm out at dinner," that type of thing. She said she called. She didn't hear from her at all again Friday night. Then the next day, she gets a call from one of her friends. And her friend is like, "She's not feeling good. We're trying to get her to the hospital. We think she has alcohol poisoning." So they do all this. So her mom is like, "Okay, look, keep me in the loop of what's going on. I need to know what's going on with my daughter," that type of thing. The next call the mom gets is that her daughter is dead. And so it took them, I think they paid like $6,000 to get her body taken back to North Carolina to figure out what happened. And she comes out with a broken neck. Her spine was cracked. So all of the 5 people had different stories of what happened. But they were really going with the alcohol poisoning story. But with this autopsy, that's not alcohol poisoning, because how did she get a cracked spine, a broken neck, that type of thing? So allegedly, it was a video that came out of one of the girls fighting her. And I mean, like, in the background, the guy is even saying, "Shanquella, are you even going to hit her back? Like, fight back." And she's just like going in on her. And I mean, these are supposed to be her friends that she's on vacation with. So this whole story of watch who you go on vacation with. You can't vacation with everybody, even your friends. You don't know people's intent. You don't know if it's going to be one of those situations where, you know what, we about to get her to another country. They can do more over there, because Mexico officials still haven't charged anybody. And I think their friends are starting to talk now, because it's getting hot, because now they've gotten the autopsy report, things like that. So it's just a big mess. So her family has just been calling on everybody to share her story, so that they can get some type of justice for her. Because if they hadn't been pushing like autopsy, like what is going on, her mom could have just taken, "Oh, it was alcohol poisoning," and went on about her business. She could have taken that story, but she knew something wasn't right. So
and I've talked to several people who have been on girls' trips, let's just say. And oftentimes you are not friends with every last one of the people on that trip. You may, if there are 5 people on the trip, you close with 2 of them, but the other 2, you really don't know. They close to the other ones, know. And sometimes y'all don't get along that well, the other 2, that you're not that close with. And sometimes there's some jealousy, because this one girl is your friend, supposed to be your best friend, but then she's supposed to be her best friend too. And so it's some jealousy and stuff like that. So there are instances of backbiting and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm willing to bet that was one of these situations to where she didn't know everybody that was there, or she knew them or barely knew them. She may have been acquaintance with them, but that wasn't like her ride or die girlfriends, but they were friends with the other ones. And chances are they probably have had history with each other, because the way this girl was fighting her, if you see the video, that wasn't there was some malice and absolutely anger there that, I don't know if that started in one trip, you know what I'm saying? It may have already been there. So
And the girl was absolutely gorgeous. So I think, of course, that comes with jealousy. I think she has some businesses going on. Super young girl, but successful, already in her own right. And I think it was one of those things where, like Ted said, that was the first thing I thought of. Like, this was a setup. Like, to me, you knew going on this trip that this girl did not like this girl, you know. Yeah. And it was going to be something to go down, whether you thought it was just going to be an argument, they were going to exchange words.
Right. This was going to be entertainment for them. They knew eventually that they would get into it. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, you know, with the Generation Z, they're so in on fighting, and they don't, that's funny to them. Yeah. And they're going to put it on World Star. They're not going to think anybody's going to be hurt, or whatever the case may be. And then at that young age, I would just say, even with, you know, when I go see different teachers and students and stuff, students call everybody their friend. They can meet them that day. Mm-hmm. And that's my best friend on Friday. Girl, it's Tuesday. Like, you just met her on Tuesday. So sometimes, unfortunately, with, you know, that generation, everybody is, you know, your friend real quick. You don't know them. And we just going out of the country together. Can't nothing happen. Mm-hmm. And this is what happens. You get set up.
Yeah. It just went too far. And I think they were just planning on being a fight and leave it at that. But now this girl is dead. They all left her, came back home, went back to, you know, what they were doing, and just basically tried to say, you know, we're going to go with the alcohol poisoning story. But then everybody's story started to be different.
And you can't know that autopsies tell.
Exactly.
If I have alcohol in my system.
Yeah, they said her face was really swollen, everything. Like, it's just sad story.
And here is a video from a news outlet and her mom talking about the situation.
Tonight, it's become a mystery in Mexico as a Charlotte family tries to find answers into how a 25-year-old wound up dead.
Well, conflicting reports now have them wondering what really happened at a villa in Cabo San Lucas. Morgan Francis tonight spoke to the family and joins us now here in the studio. So, Morgan, when did all this happen?
Alicia, this happened about 2 weeks ago. Shanquilla Robinson went to Mexico with her friends. She arrived early on Friday the 28th, and her family says the next morning she was dead.
It was supposed to be a fun, long weekend for 25-year-old Shanquilla Robinson and her group of friends who went to Cabo to celebrate one of their birthdays.
She told me they had a chef. They was getting ready to eat. They was eating tacos, something, salad or something they was eating. And I said, well, okay, I love you. Have a good night, and I will talk to you tomorrow. And I never talked to my child again, and she never made it back home.
Robinson's mom, Salamandra, says within 24 hours of her daughter's arrival, she was dead. Figuring out how or why has only added to the family's nightmare. It started with a frantic call from Robinson's friends.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. They couldn't get a pulse. Each one of the people that was there with her was telling different stories.
It's when the family made calls to the FBI and Mexican authorities that they learned of another potential cause of death.
And the autopsy came back. They said it didn't have anything to do with alcohol. Say that she had she had a broken neck and her spine in the back was cracked. She had been beaten.
Salamandra says the entire group came back from Mexico, leaving her daughter's body there. Nearly 2 weeks and $6,000 later, her body is back home. But answers have been hard to come by.
You know, I know that's not going to bring my child back, but I want something done about it.
Queen City News has spoken with officials at the U.S. State Department in Mexico who refute the claim that Robinson was murdered, saying the police's initial indication is that there was no clear evidence of foul play. Here in Charlotte, her family refuses to believe their daughter's death was an accident, and they vow to find the truth of what happened that night in Cabo.
She had a heart of gold. She loved everybody, and pretty much everybody loved her.
An official with the State Department told us they're helping the family obtain reports from authorities and recommend the family hires a private investigator and an attorney if they question the circumstances surrounding Shanquilla's death. Alicia.
Wow. So then, now that added something to it, right? You know, because she had been there less than 24 hours.
Yeah,
less than 24 hours.
That supports my claim that this had to be something that had already been
It
going
was a
on,
setup.
or it was already
Mhm.
because you're not gonna get into that kind of issue within the first day that you're there. So wow.
Yeah. And even the fight that's out there, because if you just look up Shaquilla Robinson on Facebook, you can see the video. But even with that fight, you can tell it was like, are you even gonna fight back? Like the dude is like come on.
Yeah, and
So
this is a
you know
girls
that it
trip
was
too. What
you doing there?
Yeah. So, and it was one of those situations where I'm like, that video just showed a little piece of what really happened. It was much more that happened.
Yeah.
It
And
could
what
have
I
been multiple people beating her. They've identified the girl that actually fought her. So family is calling for them to at least make an arrest or pick her up, question her more in detail about that piece of it. But it's just, I don't think they'll ever know the full story if no one just really tells the truth.
when I was looking for the video, hoping to maybe show a piece of the fight and stuff like that, I did see another video that I want to say that they said the mayor of Cabo is actually coming out against the police chief or somebody in the police department for a cover-up.
Yes.
So that's another angle, so even the Mexican authorities are, kind of on different sides of this. So I would imagine that in the coming days, there'll be more information.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just hope that they, figure out something for this girl's family, because for your child to go to Mexico and you think she's just going on a girls trip for a weekend and coming back and she arrives back dead, like that's devastating. And I just hope they figure out what happened, because for Mexico, even officials to say that there was no foul play, but this girl had a broken neck and a cracked spine. Like, come on.
Yeah, if you say it wasn't no foul play, then I need to see some receipts from an excursion that went wrong.
Yeah.
Like that then. Yeah. And we just said that's why I'm so particular on who I hang out with. If I don't like the person that might attend something, I don't go. Patricia Singletary says so sad. Ben says sad story. Jody says sad. This is so sad. Galen says there was definitely okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
For a trip. I'm not thinking anyone just planning a trip to watch a fight, but I think those two girls just collided after hometown drama. Like I just don't think 5 or 6 people go on a trip to prepare to watch a fight. Yeah. Miranda says that's heartbreaking. Yeah. And Jody says sounds like a fall down a flight of stairs. Still will break a neck and a spine damage. Yeah, and that may be part of it. Yeah, and who knows? Is that what led them to the room? What happened before they got in the room? Maybe that was one of the reasons why she wouldn't fight back. That was the second part of the fight. Whatever. Let's see. CJ said I left a little bit. Did we change topics? We're just doing the streets of talking, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. We just said, well, y'all know I was supposed to be friends for years. I knew that she was a little jealous, but she pretty much hated me. Now I believe that she would have set me up because she would never come after me by herself, because she knew she you would have beaten because she had witnessed me fighting with her.
Yeah.
She was gonna put them hands on her.
Got these hands.
Got them hands.
So again, thoughts and prayers to her family.
Thoughts and prayers.
And let's wrap this topic up here with just a couple of more aspects of it. I'm gonna stick beside them. We trying to figure out why women want to stick beside these knuckleheads. So I'm gonna ask a question, and Nikki, I'm gonna start with you on this question. Does the proportion of men to women being higher contribute to the "I must stick beside them" conundrum? Is part of the reason that there is a whatever the ratio is nowadays? I think it's like a 6-to-1 ratio of women to men out there. So is that ratio contributing to why women stay? Because they like it ain't on. See. Some folks saying there ain't a lot of good men out there. That may not be true, but the fact that there's not a lot of men out there compared to the number of women, that's true. So is this contributing to some folks just saying, "Hey, I got one. It ain't a lot out there anyway. I'm gonna stay."
I think so. I think that a lot of women do it for that reason.
Okay, and what you think they should do? Get a German Shepherd instead?
Yes. Or
I'm scared. I'm scared of German Shepherd.
Or a poodle.
Yeah, Will ain't gonna be able to come visit them because and nasty tail dog licking folks all in the face and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Mika, does the proportion of men to women being higher contribute to the I'm gonna stick beside them conundrum?
If it does, I think that's so low on the totem pole. I don't even think that's one of the reasons women say that they're going to stick with men. So it may play a small part, but I don't think it plays a big part in it.
I think it plays a big part.
You think so?
And here's the deal. And here's the deal.
Absolutely
Obviously, we know
do.
some states are higher than others. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
I believe the Atlanta area may be as high as 12 to 1 men.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I think Atlanta is like 12 to 1.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
And then that one might be.
Good night.
Keeping it on the girl, Lou. So with that, you take him out, it might be 24 to 1.
Yikes.
So, Lily, does the proportion of men to women being higher contribute to the I'm gonna stick beside them conundrum?
I think so. I think some people are like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep him. I'd rather deal with him and his drama than to get back in the dating pool. I hear people say all the time there's pee in the dating pool.
They don't
right?
say pee. Shit, they say piss in the
Piss.
dating.
Yeah, it's pee in the dating pool. So I think that does like affect it. Like you don't want to go out there and try to find. I already found somebody that's half decent. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick beside him and work through the other drama.
And what if you go out there and leave that one, and then you go out there and found somebody even worse?
Yeah, so
Even worse.
Well,
Worse.
that's the better the devil you know theory.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
bottom line is, it's piss in the dating pool, but some people like a little piss in their pool.
You disgusting.
And we just said she might have been too drunk to fight. You know, that possibly could have been a situation there. Okay, so a lot of people say, you know, even Weta said she had to forgive herself for wasting time. Is it a situation where some people are thinking to themselves, I've invested a lot of time, I've invested a lot of money, I got to see it out now, I'm too far in?
Yeah, that's that building man mentality. I built him up to be halfway decent.
Yeah.
Or I haven't built him up for him to go to the next woman and be the man that I need him to be.
Yeah.
No, he gonna stay right here.
They don't say the next woman; they say the next HOE.
What does that spell?
Which indicates that they are home. If
Hard.
they say the next, so that means you
Yeah. So I think, and some women don't think that they deserve a good man. That's another aspect. You're like, why?
Wow, Shantae got a good point.
Yeah, say that trauma
bond.
Yeah.
Gayla said we're gonna go back to what I said 45 minutes ago without me even knowing what the topic.
My God.
Most women are just scared of clubbing and dating in their 40s, 50s, and finding a good black man. Yep. And Jody just said, wow. And then Anita says, why are these young Hispanic men coming at me? I'm serious. They really are. Ted, go easy on me.
All right.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
You better get you one.
All I know, and Craig, if you listening, Craig, I need you to comment on this. Because you remember that we've been at barbershop many mornings where there was a young lady who had her Mexican man, and he brought that check home every week. So if you remember this, if you can comment and give my auntie some advice on possibly giving these Hispanic men a shot, they're going to bring you your check. And they ain't going to have to borrow your car.
Equal opportunity.
But that's very true, though, because I had a friend that I used to work with, and she was with a Hispanic guy, and she said he bring that money home every week. Mm-hmm. Give it to her, yeah.
He ain't gonna need to borrow your truck or your car because his homeboy gonna come pick him up on the way to work.
Yeah,
that's it.
And that truck that's got 4 different color paints on it, but it's supposed to be one because they done fixed it themselves. They done went to the junkyard and got a driver side fender out of it. Mm-hmm. They got a different color tailgate on it, and the hood another color from the 3 different.
But it's running.
Yeah.
Period.
What the younger boy got to do with it?
He ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
If you're scared, go to church.
Boy.
Ain't nothing but a number.
All right. So we've talked about why they're doing it. So let me ask this question, and we'll start with Nikki on this one. So if we know somebody who is trying to stick beside a no good joker, Jody said, yeah, we just said, shut up, Dad. So if we know somebody sticking by a no good joker, what can you do to help?
You could actually go to that person and just talk to them about it. Let them know that you know, girl, you can do better than this. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to necessarily just stay with him because maybe you think it's a shortage or maybe you think you can't find nobody else. You can just go and talk to them and let them know because God can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But fail.
See, and you gotta believe that he won't fail. Right. See, Mika, and I just said that to somebody yesterday, actually.
Yeah. Mika, what can they do? What can you do to help? You know somebody who with a no good joker.
Yeah.
What can you do to help them? Or is it anything you can do to help them?
It depends if that person is receptive. Mm-hmm. Because I've known some females to be with dudes that are no good. Right. And you have friends and family try to talk to them and they're not receiving it. So, I mean, it depends on the person. If they're receptive, if you had to tell them 2 or 3 times, child, that she not leaving. Leave it alone. So you have to assess the situation and the person to see if they're going to be receptive.
Okay. Lily, what can we do to help? We know somebody with a no good joker. What can we do to help?
Can you put Jody comment up? Because that is my exact sentiment.
What?
He said you can't.
Thank you.
It ain't nothing I can say to you that's gonna make you leave. You gotta want to leave on your own terms. And I think women are just like, sometimes they'll be like, "Girl, I hear you. I gotta make a change." And then in the next breath, you see them uploading a Man Crush Monday. I can't. Like, no, that's on you. That's on you.
Not enough to eat.
Oh my gosh! Will you hush?
She said she got to start with a woman in the mirror. Okay. Jenny Pooh says you can only pray for them. CJ says, man, these niggas ain't gonna change me. I just point out straight up, asked him what the F.
Dang.
They are lowering their standards.
I know that's right.
Galen says, he goes, no, I'll tell you, you're missing my point. You're not digging deep into what I'm saying. There are many black men out there for these women, but some of them actually just can't get past the fact of the profile that they want, you know. So sometimes
that's true.
That's good.
Let me kind of reverse it. Sometimes they got the picture of the guy they want that's there that they're gonna stick beside. That's what kind of wet they Cheerios, so to speak. So they're gonna stay with him even though he may not be good for them. So they have the picture of the man that they want, even though his behavior and his long-term appeal ain't what it is. Craig says the real fact of the matter is we've invested all of our meaningful years in a joker that hasn't been nothing but a liability. Now, as you evaluate your life and look back and can't go back, I'll just stick beside him. God, dog. When I look back over my life.
Hey, glory. Thank you, Lord.
So a couple other things we can do to help, some other practical ways. You can just listen patiently, because you know they're going to be talking a whole bunch. Be gentle.
Don't keep calling me about
be gentle. Be gentle. Don't do this and say what the F. Be gentle. Because they already got somebody, you know, not being gentle with them. Now you got to be honest, right? Don't take that honesty approach that some people say, I'm brutally honest. Why are you brutally honest? You don't have to be brutally honest.
Yeah,
that's not necessary. But they be honest. Avoid criticizing or blaming them and remain non-judgmental about their choices, right? That's the last thing they need is criticism, you know, and judgment. Especially if you're supposed to be their friend, right?
And share if their house not clean.
That's right. Sweep around your own back door first. Another way is to share unhealthy relationship experiences of your own or ones you've heard of. So maybe they can see it, because you know how sometimes you can see somebody else's situation a lot clearer than you see your own.
Yeah.
So if you give them some examples of some other situations, they'll realize, damn, I'm in that situation. Okay. And then build up their self-image. I think Nikki said this earlier. I believe it was her. Remind them of what they deserve. Like, hey, come on, you deserve better than this. Remind them of their qualities and things of that nature. Like, you don't have to tolerate anything less than what you deserve. And then, of course, offer support. Check in regularly. One of the hardest things we have to say to people is, I'm going to support you regardless of what you do. I'm going to support you regardless of what you decide. And even though every bone in your body says you need to decide to leave, you still need to say, I'm going to support you, whatever you decide, because they got to know they got somebody. Because if not, you may actually be entrenching them in the situation. Because they're like, now I don't even have her. Think about it. Think about the one you said, okay, don't call me no more about Jeffrey. I'm tired of hearing about it. Don't call me no more about Michael. I done told you what you need to do. Now they ain't gonna call you no more. And when they really need to still be able to call you. And Wheeler says, I get turned off when I first meet a guy and he asked me to cook for him his hungry ass. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Pastor Dodd said, what's up, Pastor Dodd? He says, let it alone. I gotta help me with this.
MYOB, mind your own business.
Oh, mind your own business.
Oh, okay.
But be there to catch them when they fall. Okay. Yeah. When they fall comes, when the fall comes is what he's trying to say. All right, we got AJ Jones in the building. What's up, my man?
Hey.
We got to get you back on the show, man. I've been trying not to bug you. All right, so now it's time for our final thoughts, and we'll wrap this one up. And we appreciate all the viewers. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your humor, because some of y'all is just funny. Some of y'all need to go pray, like this guy right here, Galen. He goes, like my wife's cousin is always talking about these men wearing all types of clothes and Timberlands. And I'm like, that's what you want your husband to be? You think that's your husband to be? She got mad at me because I tell her what's up. But what does our black youth glorify? If you go to the barbershop and you see a young man playing chess and a young man rapping, a young black woman is going to look at the guy that's rapping. God dog it.
That's true.
God dog it.
He ain't lying.
Very true.
Facts.
He ain't lying.
Facts. All right, final thoughts. We're going to start with the seasoned queen. What are your final thoughts on this topic? I'm going to stick beside him.
I'm going to do just that. No.
You sticking beside Ken?
I sure am, because I got a good husband, baby. Okay?
He's an idiot.
I'm sticking beside him. But no, but really, seriously, it has to be up to the individual as to whether or not they're going to do it or not, because you can talk to them, but I just feel like that sometimes it may work, maybe it won't work, but just pray for them. That's the best thing that I think that we should be able to do, is just pray for that person and help them. Hope that God can help them get out of that situation, whatever it is.
All right. Galen said, I just dropped that mic and about to cook this catfish.
All right.
Galen finna cook some catfish on a Tuesday.
That's serious. That's serious.
Tuesday.
Craig says, ignorance says stick with him, but intelligence and wisdoms have been poking you for years to let it go. Wow. So you're just gonna ignore it.
That's good.
And Wheeler says, if they invite you into your business, and I'm definitely going to voice my opinion, don't tell me how bad he has treated you when you're mad at him. Then when y'all make up, you don't want me to badmouth him. Then stop telling me about that jerk.
Come on, Jerk.
Mika, final thoughts? I'm going to stick beside him.
Again, thanks to the audience. And on the topic, I'm kind of with y'all. You have to mind your own business until they open that door. If they're not opening that door for you to, be there for them, if they're not being abused or in any kind of danger, you got to let them ride that out. Because at the end of the day, people are smart enough to know. They know women know what they're sticking with. So, and then, if you're giving them that advice, sometimes they're not going to receive it. So you need to be prepared to support them either way.
Yep.
Cousin Jody said, a bad relationship is like helping a person on drugs. It is a battle. You have to put your thoughts of correction aside. Wow.
Yep.
Hear the same story, watch them cry, and love them without judgment. You know that's correct, but the change is a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Fear, love, and emotions. Pray for them and yourself. You need strength to help. Wow. That's
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
strong.
that's a good final thought.
Like I talked to somebody earlier today. Is the reason why you feel comfortable calling me is because I flush these toxins. What you're telling me, I'm not carrying. I'm not holding on to it. It's not burning to hold on to. So yeah, that's what's up. But you do need strength to be able to help. All right, Lily, final thoughts. I'm gonna stick beside him. You sticking beside Blake, Daddy?
Not Blake, Daddy.
And she should. What's wrong with him?
First of all, he's an idiot. Second, thank you to the audience, viewing audience. Thank you for commenting. Y'all crack me up in these comments. It keeps the show going. But just final thoughts regarding our topic. I'm just going to say, like Mika said, you have to make sure that person is receptive. Love them anyway. I think it's one of those things where if they're in no immediate danger, if they're not causing you any harm, your children harm, I have to mind my business until you're ready. Once you invite me in, though, you have to receive what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part where people get mad at each other, because why did you say that about him? Well, why did you tell me what was going on and ask what my opinion was on it? So you have to be ready for those conversations. If you're not ready for the conversation, please don't invite me in.
Yeah, you didn't spend 6 months telling me how lazy Michael ass is, and we go meet for brunch on Saturday, and I said, Michael lays ass at the house. And now you mad at me.
Yeah. Look at lazy joker doing today. Y'all not talking for 6 months.
You know we always get 2 appetizers. Now they ask you want appetizer.
No.
Bring me some water with some lemon in it, because I'm gonna make my own lemonade at this table like black people do. Galen says, no doubt, I just caught the fish. You're gonna have to hit me and my wife up, and we're gonna have to come on the live stream. Yep, we can do that, homeboy. We can do that. All right, my final thoughts are: keep in mind there's a physical and emotional separation that occurs with any breakup. It's human nature to become addicted to things that take the pain away. Occasionally, we cling tighter to the good memories more so than we do to the bad. Unfortunately, sometimes the things we crave the most are the things that end up breaking us. Be careful in doing what you have to do to get by today. It's likely going to hurt like hell tomorrow.
And those are his final thoughts.
And we just said, y'all already know I'm gonna tell y'all Mama Wilma Jean about any man or woman mistreating their kids. She don't give a damn who get mad. Wow. Wow. All right. So hey, as a reminder, we are live on Roku. So if you want to watch us there on your big screen TV, or if you still got that TV sitting on top of the TV in the living room at Big Mama house. If the one on the top is a smart TV and you can get Roku, you can still watch it. If you're using the bottom one for the sound and the top one for the picture, you can still watch it. So download BS3 TV on your Roku device. We would appreciate it. And again, if you are watching on YouTube, even if you're not watching on YouTube, go to YouTube, click the like button on the Queen3 King channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We sure need your support. All right. Next week will be a replay. We'll be off, but there will be a good replay. I can't remember which one I told be in the play, but there will be a good replay of an episode that got a lot of feedback and a lot of buzz. So you want to check that in, especially if you're happen to have missed it. So stay tuned for that. Craig has a final thought as well. He goes, people literally love their significant other to death. I can really stop right there. People literally love their significant other to death, you or them, but stick beside them, jokers, no matter what. Wow. All right. Well, hey, we appreciate all of our viewers. We appreciate the support. We appreciate those that viewed that didn't say nothing. Appreciate y'all too. We know y'all out there. I can see y'all watching. That's how this technology work, but we still appreciate you nonetheless. Jenny Pooh, Tara, Craig, everybody out in the audience, Cousin Jody, we appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all next time on another episode of Queen3.
Y'all have a good Thanksgiving.
Bye, fam.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and if y'all got chairs pulled out for Thanksgiving, don't set in that plastic when they've been sitting out.
Gone now. Gone now.
All summer, because that plastic ain't gonna hold you, partner. Don't
and it's
trust
been a
that
lot
one.
of rain though, so be careful.
All right, we'll see y'all.
Are we smiling or what we doing?
The Queen Bee has arrived.
You know. What's your out then?
So I'm gonna start with both of y'all's hands right here.
Look for my thumb.
Look for your thumb.
Like if you can see my thumb on this mic.
BS3 Network, changing the way you listen to podcasts.